People, Broken Puppet, and this is how to draw a Hyottoko mask. Enjoy. Right people, how to draw a Hyottoko. Now Hyottoko, there's a few different things what it can be, you know, it's more like a mask, like a sort of funny thing nowadays, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, sort of mouse sort of tied to the side. History wise, there's sort of like, one sort of theories are like fire gods, you know, another is like a lucky sort of thing. But yeah, I'm just going to teach you basic how to draw these. They're really cool and they're really sort of neat. So start with a circle. Curve a line coming off that circle, just up to the side. Come out past that circle. Do a little kind of oval shape just on top. And from the top of that, curve back into the circle, like so. Do yourself a circle above it. Circle to the side. Circle to the side. Now it's supposed to be eyes and where the nose goes. So start off with a nose. So we've got the circle shape. I want to curve up that curve just there. Turn it around. Come down to that corner. Curve up and then out just a touch. And then where this sort of, you know, point starts here, just curve around this. Like so, and inwards. Just above it, we're going to create this curve. Now you want this curve to go from the top of the nose bit and going just over the circle a touch. Do one there. And then another one just next to it. Again, just cutting over a little bit of that circle. I'm going to sort of strengthen this circle up a bit now. I'm going to create a curve now coming around here. Coming around this line. Don't make it too pointy, make it sort of like nice and sort of circular. You know, we don't want it too intimidating. You know, when you have the harsh curves, it looks intimidating. We just want it a bit kind of comical, to be honest. Create a little curve just coming up from the top of that. Over the bottom of the eye, just start here, curve outwards of the eye. So curve to the side out. And then follow that eye shape around just a little bit. Then curve another again, just there. Now we got this nostril. You want to create a curve shape. So imagine like a big circle here. And it's going to go behind the nostril. So start off here. I'm going to curve this around. We'll go there. And curve out down over there. Where this line comes down here, just curve this little edge just here. And just here, just create a little black sort of shape and just flick some little lines off it to create the moustache. A couple little lines just there for the other side of the moustache. Now inside this circle, we're going to create a curve, like so, curving up, curve down, back around. So it's basically an S shape. So you curve like an S, there to there. Bring another one above it, just coming up slightly higher, curving down and connecting up to the side. And just create a line, come around the top, a little line towards the bottom. Same as I've done the moustache. Just bring a black shape and just flick some lines off. Same on this side, black shape, flick some lines off. Now it's going to add some pupils, so going to have black circle, line around it, black circle, line around it. Don't worry if the eye pupils ain't at the same place, because a lot of the time with these they wouldn't be. They actually purposely had the eyes in different angles, so it looked a bit kind of funny. Off top it, just going to bring in some little gold birdie shapes. You know, the old fashioned birds. Just to create a little bit of the forehead shape. And then here we're going to bring his hoods. Now he always wears this hood around him. Traditionally it's white with blue dots, but I think I'm going to do it blue with white dots, so it's a bit more solid. You know, you can change it up. Don't feel like you have to do it the way tradition is done. A lot of people do change it up with all sorts of colours. So bring a line across, bend it. So I'm using sort of almost straight lines, just slightly curved. So doing that, and then I'll start one behind it, coming down here, bending off there to the bottom. So you see, just building up with sort of like very sharp turns. So curve this line up, and curve out that way, and curve down and outwards. Go up, down, out. So basically making it sort of circular, but we're just bringing it in with these sort of like straight lines and just bulking out the shape so it's a bit more dynamic. So there, curve down. Maybe this one underneath, this one kind of curving in. Can have one come through the middle here because I want us to sort of break into two bits at the bottom. Then a little curve just there. Okay, you kind of ball shape around it. And then we're going to have this bit sort of coming off here. So I'm going to bring a line. Curve this back up. I'm just going to have one little bit above it, one little bit above that. And one just on the outside, just there. Around the outside edge, I'm going to have some rope. So I'm going to put a couple of sort of circular sort of shapes and some circles just next to it, just to create that line with the rope. So just there, there. And then here I'm just going to bend that the other way and just curve it. So you want a nice sort of smooth curves. This one can come here, go into a ring, a little bit above it. I'll have one just down here, a bit above that. Now traditionally a lot of time this mask is accompanied by the Okama mask, so I will probably do another tutorial for that as well. It's like the sort of smiling woman face. And you'll have loads of stubble down here, so there's going to be loads of dots just all across this bottom section. But for now, I'm going to come in with my liner, so I'm going to bring in some heavy details with a Sharpie, and then refine it with some thinner line details. So first off, I'm going to bring in this hood. Now when I get to the edges, I want to kind of bulk these up sometimes. Mainly just for the hood, you know. You've probably seen me do this a couple of times, but when it comes to Asian sort of style, sometimes the outside clothing is quite thick in nature when it comes to line work. So you see, just as I get to the edges, sort of just round them off. Now I know I'm pretty quick when it comes to lining, so don't feel like you have to go in my sort of speed. Take your time. You know, it doesn't matter if you do it quick or slow, just as long as you enjoy and do a good job. And remember, a good job doesn't necessarily mean it has to look amazing, you know, depending on what skill level you're at. Now you'll see progression as you go along with it, so always stick with your work and never let a bad picture put you off from drawing. I've seen too many times in the past of people just like one bad picture and that's it, they want to give up on it. It takes practice, but you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how it looks as long as you're having fun doing it. And you notice the main lines I'm going to be doing here are just like the detail lines. The ones I want, well not detail, you know, but the ones I want to stand up bold above everything else. So like the eyes, maybe a bit just in the cheek, just there, and thin it out as it goes across. All the outside line detail, because I want the outline to sort of stand up bold. And when I mean like the outer line, so like all stuff like I've done there around the edge. We've got these ropes. For the moment, I'm just going to do them like two sort of straight lines and then add detail afterwards. Now I've done that, it's going to come in with my finer liner. Just going to use a uni pin here. 0.8. Just curve off some of the edges and just add those little line details I want. Always makes a big difference when you have some different line weights. Just flicking those lines off those eyebrows. Detail line just underneath that eye, just there. And then in the ropes, just diagonal lines. So double moustache. Just bending with the shape of the rope. Just doing them roughly about even apart, about the same sort of distance the whole way around. Just a couple little lines just inside the tips of those bits. What about your pencil work? Going to bunch of lose my words. Bunch of dots now just around this bottom part. It's great stubble. Just put them randomly, and every time I sort of feel like there's a gap that's too big, just fill in that gap. You know, you ain't got to do like exact measurements between them. Slightly fading off as I go up. So as it gets further up, just make the dots more and more further apart until eventually you just stop. That's the stubbly bit just down there. Now I'm just going to use the brush markers. I'm going to start putting in some shadows. These are just Winsor & Newton brush markers. To start with, I'm going to put a shadow just across this bottom section just here, which I will blend out. Then we're just under the nose, going to the nostril, just there. Just everywhere it kind of sits in a corner, so just a little bit there, there. Nothing too much. Maybe just there. Maybe just in the corner of the hoods, maybe. Just a little bit where the rope overlaps. Just like that. I'm going to come in lighter grey. Now, a lot of people keep asking me what kind of paper I use. Just to make it easier, keep an eye out because I will be actually selling some of these books at some point as well. A bunch of these Swanner sketchbooks, they get the exact same paper I use. So if it's not there now, just always check the description. It should be in there somewhere at some point. You know, probably still be a couple of weeks before it's all set up. But yeah, we've got the exact same books, good decent price, so you guys can just use the same thing. Because I know everyone seems to love this paper, and they can't always seem to find it. So I figured, so I might as well start selling that. I'm just going to put in some little shadows just here inside the curves. Nothing too crazy. Just there and there. Now I'm going to get my red pro marker. I'm going to get me a blender and do the old blending trick. You guys probably seen this before, but if not, let's say you do it. Get your blender, get your pro marker, hold the tip, bold tip to the thin tip, like so. Hold it until you see it go white. The very tip that is. Once it goes a little bit white, give it a tester, give it see-through, you're ready to go. It's basically just start working across. Just start working back, and once you see the colour come through, just keep going back. Each time just slightly overlapping, and that way you get a nice smooth blend as you go backwards. You can buy this thing called chameleon pens, which actually are designed for this technique. Just keep working until you see that colour come through. So work side to side, just bring this up so we're not red in the middle. There we go. I want some in this cheek bit just here. So be careful with this one, you've got to start a circle. And just keep overlapping that edge. Like so. And if you miss any little bits or a little bit ain't just right, you just come back and always just flick a little bit just over the edge. You should blend it out nicely. Just the red bit in there. Just going to grab a little bit of flesh tone. Just a little bit so the beard seems a bit different. I want that kind of grey dabbleness to show through. So nothing too crazy, just a little bit just here and there. I will blend this out with a lighter flesh tone as well. Across there, and then my light flesh tone is, there we go. This will pretty much fade to nothing as it dries, which it will do pretty quickly, so you should better see it. Just gives it the subtlest hint. Always looks a bit strong when you first put it on low. Go me blue. I'm going to do the same blend trick now, just with a blue. This is just going to go a bit in the eye. Just until you see that tip start to go white. Click that in there. Put your lids back on. Put that brown just around that part of the eye. Red. Go in that gap. And then these little parts just here in red as well. And colour the rope in green. Just to be different, you know, so you don't always have to do it brown. And just get your blue. And all we got left now is the hood, so it's going to do circles the whole way through. And then we just colour in the gaps around the circles. So it's sort of like a red, blue polka dot rather. You can make these as big or as small as you want, to be honest. I tend to sort of overlap even when there's bends, you just keep the pattern through true. You know, they've done it quite a lot in Japanese stuff and I think it looks really good. It gives it a really cool effect. So now we're just going to colour in all that space in between. Just leaving the white circles blank. Keeping this all the way around. So just like so. And there you have it. There's how to draw a Hyottoko. They're really good fun pieces, and you can put smoke coming out the mouth, fire coming out the mouth sometimes, you know, they're very... play around with the colours, the ropes and stuff. But they're great little designs, you know, and like I said, they do go with another type of mask, so I will do some of the other masks that they kind of match up with. So you guys can get a gist of how it all kind of works. But yeah, that's how I draw a Hyottoko mask and a broken puppet, and I'll see you next time. Peace!